Good Friday afternoon, evening, wherever you may be. Victor, we're back. It's 2023.
We're back, yeah, baby.
2023. Now, just in case you have a hard time hearing Victor, he forgot his cables. But, which Mac is that?
MacBook Pro 13.
The new one.
The M1. So
the M1. So it's got a pretty good mic in it. So we'll forgive him this week. It's okay.
It won't repeat.
No. But
I would like to say that that's going to be true, but you know me. So
yeah. Things will happen over time. Always have your MV88. It's a different conversation. That one's really good. Did you have that one with you today?
No, I have that one. I don't have the cable.
Oh, for the MV88.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. Well, anyway. Let me get into some of the comments here. Lev, good to see you. Thanks.
Hey.
That Ramstein look. I understand Ramstein. I don't understand how my look is going for that. Is it the hair? Is it the...
Must be the hair, man.
I've changed the studio. Victor's in his undisclosed location, and he shifted some things around. I don't know. My hair got really short, and right now it's just not... I can't do normal things with it. Sebastian, Happy New Year to you as well. The Ramstein live shows are pretty amazing to watch the production of it. I could care less about watching the show, but watching the behind the scenes of how the show goes on, that's what I enjoy. They should sell tickets to that.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Do you know who Ramstein is?
No idea.
Okay, it's a...
Sounds like a rock band, Rammstein. There was a rock band long time ago.
It's the same one. Okay. It's the same one.
Okay.
So, all right. Yeah, I don't even know if they came through town. I wasn't even paying attention. Maz, good to see you. Oh, it's the hair. Yeah. It was actually much taller. It will stand much like the product. Yes, I use hair product because I am a good 80s kid. I know how to use hair product. But anyway, hi, my name's Darren. This over here is Victor, and we are the host of a podcast called DevOps Paradox. And on Fridays, we do this show, most Fridays. And if I sound weird, my studio's changed. And my mic's in a different place, and I'm hearing myself differently. So I might talk differently. But anyway, it's 2023. We had to change a few things, right?
At least something. At least fake it.
At least fake it. With that in mind, we looked back on our 2022 predictions, and we got into our 2023 predictions. And... the one thing that was recurring was platform engineering, which is now just something else. We actually, was it yesterday, on a DevOps Toolkit live stream, back in December, we talked with Benji from Shipyard, who actually did a podcast with him that's going to be coming out in March, yesterday, and we still brought up this concept of platform engineering. Victor, in your opinion... and we'll just go ahead and reiterate it now, where are we really headed with platform engineering?
I would call it a renaissance of platform engineering, right? It's something that we had for a long time. It's not new. I don't remember. I think that I've been hearing and involved in teams one way or another that are creating platforms since the beginning of my career. So not new, but rejuvenated. Renaissance, right? A lot of talk going on. We get a name, not necessarily it was called platform engineering, or maybe it was, I don't remember. Anyways, it's a big thing, coming back big time. And I think that it makes sense, right? It's coming back because things changed since my childhood, right? We have cloud, we have SaaS going big, and we have Kubernetes. And those three, I think, are simplifying a lot of things related to platform engineering.
Okay. So that's going to be what we'll be talking about for the next 51 weeks of the year. There's only
Platform
300. Yeah. Is that all we're going to be talking about? Is just platform engineering? Because that is the only answer? No.
I know what I will be talking about, and that's going to be CNCF, because I committed to CNCF everything. So that's going to be... You will hardly speak with me that I don't mention CNCF.
Wait, hang on a second. I did find, yes, Mark, CNCF. All right, there we go. Okay, nothing but CNCF all year. Well, the good thing about that is that you will not run out of content to talk about.
Nope. Then I will not finish it. I'm committed to all projects. I'm not going to make it. It's not going to happen, but...
Well, there is one new project that's coming into the CNCF from Weaveworks called Kured.
Oh.
Have you heard about this?
No.
Well, by the way,
I did like 5 minutes ago when you told me about it, but I'm going to say no.
Okay, number one thing, there's two things. I forgot to talk about the podcast. Podcast comes out on Wednesdays at 6 a.m. Eastern. And secondly, I've got my arms on the desk, and I am not liking this. I don't know how I'm going to break myself with this. Because when I was standing, I couldn't lean on the desk this way. Now I can.
Just move away from the desk like this, and then they're free.
Move away. Move away from the desk. Move away. No, I don't like that. So Kured. So what Kured is, if my mouse will play nice with me, is a reboot daemon. So it will reboot the nodes for you.
Okay.
Kubernetes daemon set, a tool that safely and automatically performs node reboots, say that once fast, when needed. Why would you need to reboot a node?
I mean, you should, if everything goes fine, you should never need to reboot, but then things go bad and, let me ask you a question, Darin. Why would you need to reboot to any server?
I ran out of memory, I ran out of disk, something's gone bad. Okay. So this is a last ditch type scenario.
Yep.
Should be, right? But you know it won't happen that way because what's the answer? Did you turn it off and on again? Right?
Exactly.
IT crowd.
That's the first thing we try. And only after turning it on and off again, we go to Prometheus and Grafana and metrics and logs and stuff like that. Only if that doesn't work. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
Yeah. Giovanna has a answer, perhaps to rebalance pods if you're using EKS.
I'm pretty sure that you can do it in a more elegant way than rebooting the whole node. Unless, I'm assuming that we're talking about rebooting nodes, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it helps perform safe automatic node reboots when indicated by the package management of the underlying OS. Oh. So maybe you're managing, so when you do a yum update or whatever apt upgrade, then it could, so this actually is a really important tool because usually the people that maintain the OS are not the same people that are maintaining Kubernetes. Right?
It sounds like something that is directed towards on-prem, right?
Or fully self-managed.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah. But anyway, that is a new thing in CNCF. And guess what? How are you going to test this one? You're going to have a home lab of some sort to do this. It doesn't have to be in the home, but come on. You said you're doing CNCF. You're going to have to do it.
It's now. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, now it goes to the list.
Does it go in order though? Because if it's going in order, we'll see it in 2023. We'll see it in 2028. If you're doing one a week.
So what I'm doing is that I go from top to bottom of the projects. I don't even remember how I copied and pasted that list. But then I see can I plug this into the existing picture now? No. Move to the bottom. Can I plug this into the existing picture now? Move to the bottom, right? So it's partly random, but partly depends really, or, think of it as a putt, right? Like we start from nothing until we plug them all in, but I cannot plug them in any order, right?
Right. Because you're starting. Let me ask this question: did you start with Kubernetes, or did you start with something else? What is number one?
The first one is to build images.
Okay.
Not Kubernetes.
not Kubernetes, because without images, Kubernetes is useless.
Yeah, application image, container image. Actually, one of the choices you can do in that first step is Kbuilder, one of the CNCF projects, and that one does build in Kubernetes. So depends what you choose.
Okay. All right. Anyway, another one to put on the list. So, and those start coming out when? End of January?
End of January, give or take.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. With it being still, this is really the last week of holidays, I think, because today is actually a holiday in Spain, right?
Yeah, it's 3 or 4? 3 Kings. You know, in Spain they celebrate when kings came to give gifts to little Jesus and all that stuff. So that's basically, I understand that in the US, you give presents on Christmas, right? And here they give presents today.
Okay. I was dropping in and out, so I caught most of the story. I wish I would have had you full screen for that. Anyway, with it being slow, there's not much new.
I think that he dropped out again. Poor Darren. He'll be back.
Now,
He came to say now, and he's out again.
am I back now? Am I back now?
Yes.
I'm back now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Look, holidays, I think the internet went out once. When I do a live stream, of course that's when it's going to go out.
I think that he's out. The moment he said that's okay. Now I see you move. There you go.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Maybe that's it. The funny thing is it's not just this location. It's not just this cable. It's throughout the whole thing. All right. Handful of...
He's out again. Oh, this is becoming fun. Especially since there we go. Now you're back.
Okay, am I here for just a second? Yes?
Yeah. All the technology, and he cannot get internet. He'll be back. I'm sure that he's probably going to switch to his mobile or something like that. And then we'll see him again. Darren is resilient. He'll be back. The problem is that I would take over if I would know what's the content of today's or any Friday news, but I don't. It's only Darren who knows what we're going to talk about. So I'm completely lost here. But while waiting for him, check out on DevOps Toolkit, end of January, new series coming on, all CNCF projects. What's the name? Choose your own story type of, so we'll go into one subject and then you can choose among any CNCF projects and then continue using that tool and whatever is coming next and so on and so forth. It's becoming more and more complex with time, but hopefully it will be a lot of fun. And we're going to have guests from all those projects, maintainers of those projects, trying to defend their solution for a given problem. And then you, the audience, will be choosing what are we going to implement of those and then move to the next set of choices. And independently of the choices people make majority, which will be featured in the next edition, there is a repo which I will share in due time that you can make your own path, kind of like, okay, build like this, deploy like that, define like that, choose, go, choose, go. So eventually the goal is to traverse and connect. This is the most important part. Connect, integrate, and so on and so forth, all CNCF projects. And Darren is back. There we go. in a thinking pose. He's thinking now. Look at him.
Okay, so time to get.
Yep, he didn't get Starlink yet. Okay, if anybody has a question I can answer while waiting for Danny to come back, just post it in a comment and I'll do my best since I don't have the material prepared for this. Hey, there you are. He's back. Darin is now with us permanently.
Hang on a second. I might get lost one more time. Hang on. There's also an iPhone update going on. That's what I'm doing right now.
That's the thing.
Right there now.
How are you doing, Darin? Back among living? No picture, but I hear sound.
Now I'm back. This should be it, because I'm not on the network. I'm only tethering. Holy cow.
Now we can hear you, but we don't see the image. It's frozen. Now you need to restart your camera or something. Yeah. You're like this. Like, I don't know, pointing towards higher powers or wanting to say one thing, but this is your pose right now.
But you can hear me.
But you can hear me. Yes. Yes.
Weird. All right, here. I'm going to go out and come right back in. I'll be right back.
Okay. So anyways, while waiting for David, if anybody has any question, inquiry, suggestion, anything, put it in a chat and I'll do my best to answer while waiting for Darin. Home network solution for preventing supply chain attacks. Just don't use internet. That will prevent all the attacks. Tlindesa, when will you do Ask Us Anything again? It was yesterday. Ask Us Anything session was yesterday, and it will be next Thursday as well. We have a guest next Thursday, so it's going on every Thursday on the DevOps Toolkit channel, unless I'm traveling. And for next couple of weeks, I'm not going anywhere, so every Thursday. Any idea when Ambient Mesh will be GA? I did not check the date, so I'm not sure when it will be GA. I think it should be relatively soon. I think we were talking about weeks, but not sure for certain. Don't take it for granted. Home Kubernetes do-it-yourself style. What popular options? I don't use home Kubernetes or home anything. I tend to run everything in cloud. So that's mostly because I'm spoiled. Kind of Google gives me credits and other vendors give me credits. So I have too much credits for me to bother with home Kubernetes. So I don't know. I do not know. What else? That's certainly one solution, lol, yeah. Yeah, so we're waiting for Danny still. More questions that I can troll would be great. David Knight, can I have some credits? Actually, I tried a while ago, like a year ago, to transfer my GCP credits to a friend and couldn't be done, or I didn't figure it out. So I do not know how to transfer credits to begin with. But to begin with, all cloud vendors give you startup credits if you did not sign up already. So you can get credits relatively kind of just by signing up to Google Cloud. and others as well, I think. So initial credits, so just kind of like go from one provider to another and you get credits for quite, if you shut down what you're doing when you finish doing it and then create it again when you read it again, those credits that you get initially last for a long, long time. Gvoden, how would you get started in DevRel? Is it, is Darin back? Maybe he's not. There we go. We see him now. Finger not up, but pointing at his chin. Cool. Yeah, horrible picture, but you're back. More or less. No, you're not. No, yes, you are. I don't know. I see
I'm here.
blur over there. Okay, cool. A quick answer now that I already put it on the screen for Gvoden. I do not know how to start with DevRel. I started accidentally. I was invited to talk about one of my projects long time ago, and then invited again and again, and then I started liking it, and then I started submitting myself, and it just spiraled for them. It's a viable career, definitely. I think it's actually a huge demand for DevRel. By the way, I'm looking for DevRels to join my team, and I cannot find them. So, very viable option in a huge demand, I think. And the advantage that you have gotten, so I do not recommend anybody starting their career in DevRel. But once you get a certain level of experience and work real-world experience, then switching to DevRel is great. I know that some people, college graduates, choose DevRel as profession. I think that that's not a good idea, because what are you going to talk about and teach and preach and help people with if you don't have workable experience? But once you do, I think it's a good choice, and both financially and satisfaction-wise. And Darin is gone again. This is quite a stream today. We should all collect money and then buy order. We should find out when is Darin's birthday and order Starlink as a present. That should be the thing. Anyways, what else? Top 3 CNCF, okay, from Kamaraju. Top 3 CNCF technologies you recommend in 2023. Why we need edge computing, how can we implement edge on computers? So 2 questions. First of all, for CNCF technologies, 2 things. I'm not going to give you an answer for 2 separate reasons. First, we just released a podcast talking about 2023. You can find it in devopsparadox.com. And the second reason is that the week after next, the Monday after next, the video that will be released on DevOps Toolkit channel is recommending preferable projects to use, most of them CNCF in 2023, divided in 10 different categories. So a video is coming up in 10 days, give or take, on DevOps Toolkit, and in DevOps Paradox we have a podcast episode dedicated to that. From David, would I recommend DevRel for Doges? I don't know what is Doges. I don't know whether I'm pronouncing it. What is, I need to, Doges definition. Avoid. Doges. Avoid by sudden quick movement. I'm not sure what you meant by that question. If you can rephrase it, I'll gladly answer. And Raya Sealan, Metal LB, data substitute for Ingress. It is if you're running on-prem. I wouldn't recommend it really on in cloud. No good reason that I can think of, but on-prem, yes. Yes, so I hear that it's a very good solution. I'm not doing on-prem myself much, so don't know from personal experience, but I hear it's good. And Gvoden, Dogecoin, I think. I don't own any Dogecoins. I never bought them, so I have no idea. Anyways, Darin is. I'm gonna give Darin 5 more minutes, and then we can cut short if he doesn't come back. Let's see, more questions, if there are any. Let me just quickly check whether Darin sent me messages on Slack. He's not. Okay. And I'm going to count to 5 if there are more questions. If not, we're going to cut short and then repeat next week with potentially better connection for Darin. Any more questions? Once? Twice? So, okay, Ari. So 5 to 10 years from now, is Kubernetes still here? Very likely, for a simple reason, because there was no platform in history of computing that I know of that received such big investment. So I'm not even talking about technical reasons. Every software company right now is heavily investing in Kubernetes. For significant number of them, that's the main. For number of them, the only investment. I'm not talking about users now, but software companies, vendors, right? So that investment cannot go away fast, easily. Even if we all decide that Kubernetes is not a thing tomorrow, it's still here to stay. Now, it will stay, but it will transform drastically, right? Kubernetes API as extensible API is probably going to stay much longer than containers. We are seeing emergence of WASM. There will probably be other mechanisms to run processes in Kubernetes clusters. So that might change drastically. But Kubernetes as a base platform, as extensible API, that will stay almost certainly. 5 years, 100% certain, 10 years, very likely. But it will be transformed. What it does will change. And especially container engine, that will almost certainly change, or maybe not be fully replaced, but have alternatives to it for sure. What else? Kubernetes enabled adoption, but allowing vendors to charge for add-ons with CPU node licensing and so on and so forth. Yeah, I mean, vendors change for add-ons. Solutions built on top of Kubernetes, yes. And that's a good thing. Some people are against vendors charging this or that. I'm very much in favor, because if we want to have thriving open source projects, and Kubernetes is certainly one of them, we need people dedicated to work on those projects. And for people to be dedicated to projects like Kubernetes and so on and so forth, they need to be paid, right? No big successful open source project can survive without dedication, and dedication cannot exist without people being able to feed themselves, right? So yeah. Anybody else? Or we're closing? Darin is completely went offline. So I think that we're gonna cut short today. I apologize to everybody. Powers to be are not with us. So let's see you all next Friday. Hopefully Darin will get Starlink by next Friday. And I like this thing. When will Kubernetes become like ESX, where we don't have to care about it? That's the next step. I'm certain of that, 100%. I cannot say when exactly. Oh, Darin is back. But yes, the future of Kubernetes is to become like hypervisors, something running in a background that is not your concern, simply that is powering higher level constructs and your processes. So we're going to see. Initial question kind of like, will Kubernetes exist in 5 to 10 years? Almost certainly will, but will we see it? That's a question. And going back to Gordon's comment.
Okay.
Oh, look, good picture now, not pixelated. You're amazing. What's happening, Darin? Such a sudden change of heart.
Rebooted modem, rebooted router, rebooted machine, changed cables.
And we started this episode by saying that all problems, the first solution is always to reboot, right?
Yeah.
There we go.
Was that today's show?
Your own advice.
Was that today's show? I don't remember. Gee whiz. Okay. Let me finish getting set back up here. So I guess everybody's doing fine? Everybody's fine? Okay. Well, that's good.
Chatting.
Okay. Well, good. Let me, you know what I forgot to do is I forgot to close the door, so I'll be right back. Hang on.
There he is. This time it's not a network issue.
So y'all can see my chair. See, there's a chair. There's a light. Welcome to Monday. Instancio, that's what I'm going to call this. If you're still a Java developer, much like me, except I started picking up Rust about 3.5 hours ago. Anyway.
Next Friday needs to be dedicated to your experience, a week of Rust.
A week of Rust. After this past 15 minutes, I feel like I'm rusty as it is. So, Instancio, how many times, forget the language for a moment, but this is Java. How many times when you're setting up test data, do you go through this process of create an object, load it up with data, create an object, load it up with data? Well, now, using Instancio, again, it looks better than instance.io, so I'm going to call it Instancio. Sounds better. You can say instancio.create person.class, and it gives you everything fully loaded.
Nice.
Right? Now, it's random, but
that's what you want, right?
Most of the time, that's okay. You can create collections. If you do want to put in certain things, like this one, just give me one of 604 or 778. So,
yeah,
you can restrict it.
Can you do some kind of rules? This can have up to 5 characters type of stuff, right? That's a good question. I would have to imagine so based on what I'm seeing here. But I don't know. Maybe that, like this one where you can generate a pattern, so I guess you'd put it into the pattern. So wait. I haven't used Java for a long time. What's that dash greater than? Is that something? Am I too rusty to know what's that in Java?
Yeah, it is. It's been around since Java 8. It's been a while. You're probably through Java 6. Much like me. Because when I see the characters like that, it's like, I don't know what to do. So I'm still learning it. I can't remember what the right name of it is. Anyway, lots of documentation about it. If you're still using Java and you're having to build out objects like this for tests, Instancio might be an answer for you. Did you mute or am I gone? You muted.
I muted.
Okay, good. Don't do that to me. Minesweeper. I thought we had talked about this, and I went back through all of the notes, and we've never talked about Minesweeper.
We're not talking about the game this time, right?
No, we're not. So this is basically a packaging of Trivy, Kubebench, Gatekeeper. That really should be
Caverna,
thank you. I was going to say Kubevela, but that was what we talked about yesterday. Falco, KubeSec, KubeHunter, all in one little project.
Nice. That's nice.
All packaged. So anyway, that was...
Very cool.
And what is this? We open source K8EZ, a starter Helm chart that can be used to deploy just about anything to Kubernetes, as well as continually growing Docker file examples for common tech stacks. Okay. I didn't see this. We're going to open it up here. 3 weeks ago. What is this? Helm upgrade.
This is kind of like a bundle Helm chart that allows you to install all those Minesweeper tools, right?
No, I don't think so. No, I think this is something different.
Something different.
Deploying apps should be
Okay.
easy, but all too often it's not. Sounds like a familiar conversation we've been having. And deploying them in a secure way. Makes it easy by providing a solid Helm chart for deploying your apps. This Helm chart can be used to deploy apps just as a configuration file in a one-line command. I don't know. I don't really
When I
understand.
see a first paragraph, which is usually a pitch of the project, and I still I'm just as confused or more confused than before I read it. Something wrong.
Well, it appears to be a different YAML.
It seems like a base Helm chart, right? That you use
to do. Okay. Anyway.
something.
But anyway, that's not why we're here. But Minesweeper packages, if we go back over, so it'll do image scanning, policy management, does everything. But yes, it should be Kyverno instead of OPA. Since we're talking Kubernetes, right? It should just be Kyverno.
Yeah, I mean, the OPA is still, with the gatekeeper, is still, common option, popular option. So
Yeah.
it's a valid choice. Not my choice, but a valid choice.
Right. Okay. All right. So let's go to the next one here. Clipboard. Oh wait, I got out of order. I don't want to talk about them yet. I'll come back to Clipboard in just a minute. Slashbase is a modern in-browser, read JavaScript, database IDE and CLI for data workflows. So basically it's just a built-in, so you don't have to go and download all your different tools to query databases. Now you've got a single one to connect and go off and run. But it's not just in browser, but also in terminal. Which this part of it's nice is I don't have to have one for MySQL. I don't have to have one for Postgres. I just have this, and it knows what to do.
You just kind of pick the database type or something, right? And
Exactly.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's Slashbase. Certificate Ripper. All my things got messed up after I rebooted. How many times have you wanted to grab the certificates from somewhere? And you go into Chrome, and you go to the certificate, and you go over and right-click and save. Have you done that often?
Never. Why?
Really?
I don't know. What do you do with the certificate after you save it?
Well, it's usually good for...
Are you a hacker, Darin? Is that something?
No. What you would do is when you've got self-signed certs or self-provisioned certs.
Okay.
Now I can pull all that stuff down, and then I can pass that around.
Okay, that
right?
makes sense.
Or put it in a chain. But now there's a CLI here to make that simple. Or maybe you're doing man-in-the-middle stuff. Not hacker man-in-the-middle, but just man-in-the-middle. So anyway, quick way to grab certificates. Here's the reason why I would use it. Well, a reason I would use it is, first off, I could download it. I could verify the certificate. I could verify the expiration date. So this would just be a tool in some path of things for me.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I want to get to Clipboard.
Okay.
You've heard of PB Copy, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, now that I heard, I use it. It's probably the top 5 most commonly used commands I run.
So Clipboard is sort of like PB Copy, but a lot different. Number one, it's all C++. Can you believe we're talking about a utility that's C++, not Go?
It happens.
It
like
happens.
whole Unix.
Thus Rust. So what you can do, if we take a look at the little snapshot here, you can copy a file, the make file, into the clipboard. If you do P, that means do this last one again. Do you want to replace it, yes or no? You can pipe in text to the clipboard. Again, this is PB copy, right? This is the classic PB copy example.
Exactly.
Or now what I can do is I can pipe everything that's in the clipboard into a text file. Or I can copy everything that's in a directory into the clipboard. That's where it gets different than the other stuff. So, and you can have numerous clipboards, which I don't think you can do with PB copy. I think you've got just that.
Yeah, just last, yeah.
Yeah, so you can cut, copy, paste, pipe in, pipe out, show contents, clear contents. So
Nice.
It's Clipboard. The
By
one
the
thing
way, PB copy, is that the Mac only or that's Linux as well?
I think it's Linux as well.
Okay.
I think. The thing that stood out for me though is you can actually drop Clipboard into CI. Now, why you would do that, I don't know, but you can. And you can turn color off, right? So it makes all it's in build. If you're using this and you're needing to move some stuff around for whatever reason, Clipboard might be an answer for you. Okay. Are you ready to be a prompt engineer?
Okay, you have my full attention.
So this is PromptOps.com.
Okay.
Why does this exist? Bring me your kubectl troubles. So, how do I find... Actually, here. Let's say list all context. List all contexts. Do you know how to do that in kubectl?
Okay.
Right off the top of your head?
No idea.
Okay.
I know, actually, kubectl CTX, but that's a plugin.
Kubectl config get context.
Okay.
What is it? Okay, so kubectx. What does that replace? How do you switch context?
Yes, mainly for switching context, yeah.
How do you switch contexts? Because in real life, that command is this long. Right? Now, the thing that's interesting here is it's giving you where it got the information from. If you've looked at ChatGPT or any of the other ones, it doesn't give you the reference. The reference is what's interesting here. So anything else? How should I scale my cluster using autoscaler? We'll see what it says. Not very useful. What's a hard kubectl command?
Okay. List all the resources in a cluster, including CRs, custom resources. Because kubectl get all gives you only the 10, not even all those baked into Kubernetes alone.
Okay. List all the resources in a cluster, including custom resources.
I don't believe it's going to
get all namespaces.
No,
that's not right.
No, that gives you the
In other words, as humans,
what I said, I don't think that you can do actually with the command. You would need to have a shell script to do it, excluding potential plugins that might do it for you, right? So it's not unexpected if it doesn't answer, but it's useful. Now, my main complaint is, and I was speaking with, I'm not going to name, but earlier today, I have a similar complaint with this, with, what's the name, ChatGPT or something like that, whatever the name is. That kind of, I don't like switching to browser for those things, right? If that could be integrated somehow in Terminal or Visual Studio Code or things like that, that would actually, like a search field, that same search field in Visual Studio Code would do marvels for me. You know, to which
I would expect
with some shortcut.
Well, the APIs aren't there yet, and once they will be, somebody will have to pay for them. But then at that point, somebody will create an extension that you can install into Visual Studio Code, and everything will just be there.
Yeah.
You'll just go into the palette and say something to get it queued up, and it's like, go ask the question. The question is will Copilot, GitHub Copilot, just expand it and include it as part of Copilot?
Sure it will. I mean, hey, I've been writing my Mermaid. 80% of my Mermaid diagrams, which is what I'm working on right now, are written with Copilot. And I don't think that Mermaid was planned by anybody to be. Is that
This is the
I thought
Mermaid
it-
video. Yeah.
okay? I thought that I published it a month ago. Okay. Oh, okay.
Oh, it was 2 weeks
Yeah,
ago.
Exactly.
2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, it's a video about Mermaid, and among other things, I'm using GitHub Copilot to write it. Now, given it's not really doing some specially complicated AI for that, but it just knows what I want to write. Couple of letters, tab next. Couple of letters, tab next. It understands the previous. What is to me impressive about Copilot, and I don't use ChatGPT much to say whether it's doing or no, is that it understands the current context of my workspace. That's the impressive part to me. Right? So it's not just, hey, like what you just typed there, but it understands the context where I'm right now. And that's, to me, so impressive that I cannot express my marvel about it.
Come on. I'm still here. I'm still here. And then you got into OpenTelemetry this week.
Yes. It's all in preparation for that CNCF thingy. While I'm going to CNCF projects and kind of, okay, I didn't do a video about this one. Let me do OpenTelemetry. Now you know that that's going to be earlier than later in the CNCF adventure. OpenTelemetry. And this Monday comes Jaeger as implementation for traces in OpenTelemetry.
Is there anything better than Jaeger today?
Yes.
Okay.
Tempo.
Oh.
Grafana
That's
Tempo.
true. That's true. Yeah, because when I did my thing with OpenTelemetry, Tempo was not out or was just out. I can't remember. Anyway, so that's the show.
Yeah. Hey, if we didn't lose your connection, we would end in 15 minutes now because
It
of
wouldn't be
your
a Friday.
connection. It was a full-blown show, man.
It's a Friday, so therefore I lose internet. That's what it feels like sometimes. Anyway,
Does that mean that we should move this to some other day of the week?
no. No. So anyway, speaking of days of week, Monday you've got Jaeger coming out. Wednesday podcast. Thursday you have somebody coming on the AMA.
Yes, Kubernetes operators. Darin, I forgot
Dario.
the last name.
Dario.
Dario. Oh, wow. Dario from HA Proxy Technologies coming to help us answer all the questions about operators.
Then we'll be back here next Friday.
Yes.
And I will go through the house, reboot everything beforehand. Probably not.
Did your Mac show you any signal of updating anything earlier? Because
Nope.
I usually have those problems. It says, hey, I downloaded a package for you to update. It did it actually this very moment. It just popped up. And whenever I see, do you want to install the updates now or try tonight? Something is going to start not working well or failing until
From that point forward, yeah.
And because I think it downloads overwrites files. It's not that downloads them completely separately. I think it overwrites things.
Yeah, I don't know. Actually, I'll come in on Thursday and recheck everything. Because I still have some more work to do in here. But, wow. It's Friday. Happy weekend, everybody.
Happy weekend.
And I guess, is there anything else going on? I'm trying to remember. Oh, we're coming up close on episode 200 of the podcast. And I still have to get our guest on for that. But between now and the time 200 comes out, which is sometime in February, I think, or March. It's March 1st this year, I think. We should be hearing whether or not we won anything from DevOps Dozen. Because I think that's
is it next week, I think?
Thursday is when they make the announcement.
Yeah.
So we'll find out. So by next Friday, we should know that.
Is it some live something?
They have an event on Thursday
Okay.
to where I think they make the announcements, but I'm not sure. I was looking this week trying to understand. So we'll see. For everybody that voted for us, thank you very much. Voting closed on the 31st, and we'll see what happens. But I think that's it for today. Can you tell I'm a little frustrated?
It's all good, man.
It is all
Happy
good.
weekend.
That's the reason why we do these, because our job isn't tied to this. And we can practice and make sure that we don't do the same things where the job does matter. So this is a real show for us, but it's also a dry run for the rest of the things that we do. That's the way to think about it. That goes back to Jivadan's question earlier about being a help me. What was it?
Developer advocate.
Developer advocate.
Really, yeah.
Yeah. You do lots of practicing. Lots of practicing. Or you should. Obviously, I didn't practice enough this morning. All right. Thanks, everybody. I am still trying to get used to this new layout, so we'll see. I wish we could switch things here. That won't work. And that doesn't affect you any because I'm looking at you and not this. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you again next week.